Hello students, I am Mr. Rohan Chokule, and as we know in the previous lecture we have started the things related to the iPhone. As in previous lecture we have studied the basic thing, that is introduction to the iPhone, when first iPhone was introduced to public, then different variants of the iPhone, then we have seen the upgradation program of the iPhone, how it works, and next we have seen that is production of the iPhone, how where the production is there for of the iPhone. Now today in this lecture we are going to study the basic thing, that is what different hardwares this iPhone use, then different softwares and different variants which are available in the market. Okay, so let's start with the hardware for the iPhone. So as we have seen that every year since 2007 they launches a new iPhone, and the size of that iPhone is vary. As the size vary, it means the screen size also varies. So the touch screen on the first 5 generation is 3.5 inches, that is 90 mm. So whatever first 5 generation iPhones were there, first 5 iPhones had 3.5 inches screen, that is it is in 90 mm, and it was a liquid crystal display with scratch resistance glass. So it was a scratchless glass used for the first 5 generations of iPhone. Then as I said, they after some time they have introduced a new iPhones, that is they have introduced the 5C, 5S, and again first generation SE. These four phones are having the size 4 inches screen, that is 100 mm. Then the size of iPhone 6, 6s, 7, 8 and second generation SE is having 4.7 inches screen. Okay, so as the variant changes, the size also changes. Okay, so then they have introduced the iPhone 6 Plus, 6s, 7 Plus, 8 Plus, and it had screen of 5.5 inches. Then iPhone X, XS, 11 Pro having 5.8 inches screen, XR, iPhone XR, iPhone 11 having 6.1 inches screen, and iPhone XS Max, iPhone 11 Pro Max is having screen 6.5 inches, that is 170 mm. So these are the different variants, and accordingly the size of the screen also changes. But not only size changes, again they have developed the screen, they have added some features in the screen. Initially they had a simple liquid crystal display, now having some OLED displays or different technique. High resolution displays are also available now in the market. So the touch screen, so touch and gesture feature of iPhone are based on the technology originally developed by Fingerworks. So whatever touch and gesture feature is there in this iPhone, it was developed by Fingerworks. So as I said, it had the whatever iPhone we have seen from 5S or 5 onwards, we are having one home button. Okay, one physical button is there which is situated directly below the display, and that button is called as home button. Okay, so what is use of that home button? So basically the use of this home button is to close the active apps, and it navigates to the home screen of the interface. So basically that home button, we also know that by pressing the home button, whatever apps are currently active, that they automatically get deactivated. They are not getting closed. Okay, so they get deactivated, and or they may get slept, and our home screen is navigated to the our screen is navigated to the home screen. So this is a basic use of this home button. Again, the earlier models, whatever we have seen, that earlier models has one button, that is it is called as sleep and wake button, which is placed or which is located on the top of the models. Okay, but now after iPhone 6 or iPhone 6 onwards, this button is located on the right side of the device. So what is use of that button? So this button is basically used as a power button also. So for on or off the iPhone, we use that power button, or we can use that sleep and wake button. Basically, to off the screen we use that button. Again, to on the screen we use that button. Also, that button is used to switch off or switch on our phone. Also, with the help of that phone, we control the phone call. Suppose your phone is on the ring mode. So when call comes, by pressing that button, that is by pressing that power button or sleep wake button, if you press that sleep and wake button when incoming call is there, so your ringer will automatically goes into the silent mode, or by double clicking that button you can also disconnect your call. So this is a feature which is related to that power button or sleep wake button. Again, that button is located on the right side of the phone. On the left side we are having the volume adjustment control. So volume buttons are there on the left side of the iPhone. With the help of that button you can control the volume. That is, you can also you can also increase or decrease the volume of the call, then music, with the help of that volume buttons. And again, above that volume control buttons, there is one button which is called as ring and silent switch. Okay, with the help of that button you can switch your phone to silent mode or ring mode. Again, as I said, every variant they have added new features. So from the iPhone 6 and 6 Plus onwards, the phones are having 3D touch display. Okay, so these are some features, or these are things related to the screen of iPhone. Then again, it has different sensors. It has proximity sensor. Okay, you know that how that proximity sensor works. So basically, this proximity sensor deactivates the display and touch screen when the device is brought near to face during the call. So when call is going on, we brought our phone near to our face. So at some distance, when your phone came at a particular distance, your screen and your touch screen and display will get automatically deactivated. So this happens due to the proximity sensor, and this is there because to save the battery power. Okay, and also it prevent the inadvertent inputs from the user's face and ears. Okay, so unnecessary, if that screen is active while the call is going on, so automatically, due to as the phone is touch screen, it may get touched to our face, and due to that different buttons will get automatically pressed. And so to avoid this, the proximity sensor is there, and again it used to save the battery power also. Then it has ambient light sensor. This ambient light sensor adjusts. Okay, so if you go into the dark place, automatically darkness of the screen changes. If you go into the light, automatically the darkness of the screen or the display brightness also brightness of the screen automatically changes. So this change in the brightness of the screen is carried out with the help of ambient light sensor. So that ambient light sensor adjusts the display brightness, which saves the battery power and prevent the screen from being too bright or too dark. As I said, if you go in the dark, automatically brightness will increases. If you go into light, automatically brightness will decreases. So this happens with the help of ambient light sensor. Again, it has accelerometer. Okay, a 3-axis accelerometer sensor is orientation of the phone and changes the screen accordingly. So this, with the help of this accelerometer, if your phone is in portrait mode, so you will get the screen accordingly. And if your phone is landscape mode, that is, if you tilt your phone, that automatically screen changes in the landscape mode. So this happens due to the accelerometer sensor. So this is due to the, as we know that while watching any video or watching any movie or any video song, we tilt our mobile in the landscape mode. So accordingly the screen also changes. This happens due to the accelerometer which is present in the iPhone. Then again it has magnetometer. Basically this magnetometer is used to measure the strength and the direction of magnetic field in the vicinity of the device. So it is basically used to measure the strength and direction of magnetic field. Again, some previous iPhones had radio system available in the or inbuilt in the iPhone, in the phone, and this is due to the chip which is capable of receiving the audio signal. But again, after the new variant come, there is no chip antenna was there in the iPhone. So again, in the new phone will not get the radio system, but initially previous phones had this radio system. Then fingerprint sensor is there. As we know that exactly below to the screen we had one physical button, and in that physical button that fingerprint sensor is located. So and until 2017 the iPhone model starting from the iPhone 5s features Apple's fingerprint sensor. Okay, from iPhone 5s we are getting this fingerprint sensor technology, and this fingerprint sensor technology, as I said, it is located in the home button. And with the help of these fingerprints, what is use of this fingerprint technology or fingerprint sensor? Basically this fingerprint sensor is used for unlocking the device, and it are also used to authenticate Apple Play Store purchase using Touch ID. So while unlock, or if you want to unlock your phone, you can use this fingerprint sensor. Or if you want to purchase something from the Apple Play Store, then for authentication purpose we also use this fingerprint sensor. So this is basic use of this fingerprint sensor. Then we had barometer. So this barometer included on iPhone 6 and later, excluding the iPhone SE first generation SE. So basically it has two variants, iPhone SE first generation and iPhone SE second generation. So this barometer is there in iPhone 6 and later iPhones, excluding the iPhone SE first generation. The barometer is basically used to determine the air pressure and the elevation from the device. So to measure the air pressure and the elevation from the device, this barometer is used. Then facial recognition sensor. Okay, starting from the iPhone X, a facial recognition sensor named True Depth Camera system is featured. So as I said, from the iPhone 5s onwards, we get the fingerprint sensor, but after iPhone X, that fingerprint sensor is not there, except that iPhone SE second generation. So iPhone X, iPhone XR, iPhone XS Max, then iPhone 11 Pro, 11 Pro Max, these phones are having the facial recognition sensor. So basically the working of this facial recognition sensor is same as that of your fingerprint sensor. Basically this facial recognition sensor is used for unlocking the device and for authenticating purchase from the Apple Play Store. So this Face ID is used. So working is, the purpose of this sensor is same, to unlock the device and again to authenticate the purchase from the Apple Play Store. But initially it was carried out with the help of a fingerprint sensor. Now iPhone X onwards, it is carried out with the help of facial recognition sensor. Then we had audio. Okay, so on the button of the iPhone there is a speaker to the left. Sorry, on the bottom, if you see the bottom of the iPhone, we are getting the two audio input and output. So on the so there is one speaker on the left of the dock connector, and on the right we are having the microphone. So if I have shown one picture of the iPhone 5s. So here on the left side we are on the left side we are having the loudspeaker, and on the right side we are having the microphone, right? So I have shown the same, I have written the same over here. Speaker is there on the left side, and on the right side we are having the microphone. Okay, so again we have one additional loudspeaker which is there on the above the screen. So again this iPhone has lithium ion battery. Basically this battery is user, okay, but whatever battery is there for the iPhone is not user replaceable. Like other iPhones we can like other phones we can easily replace the batteries, but unlike that this iPhone's battery is not user replaceable. Then again different cameras are also there. The camera technology is also there. Initially for the iPhone 3G they are having the 2 megapixel fixed focus camera on the back of the digital, on the back for digital photo. So the first camera technology invented for the iPhone is for the iPhone 3G, and it had a fixed focus. Now we are having the autofocus camera. Now initially it had fixed focus 2 megapixel camera on the back side, and it is used for digital, to capture the digital photos. Then it has no optical zoom, flash or autofocus technology, okay, and it also does not natively support the video recording. Whatever camera was there for iPhone 3G, it was not optical zoom. It has no optical zoom, no flash, no autofocus, and also it does not natively support the video recording. Then as the variant goes on changing, accordingly the camera technology also improves. So for iPhone 3GS has 3.2 megapixel camera with autofocus and auto white balance. Then again iPhone 5s has 4 megapixel camera. Then iPhone 6 also has 4 or 6 megapixel camera. Again the megapixels of the camera changes. Now recently they are having the they have recently launched the iPhone 11 Pro and 11 Pro Max. They are having ultra wide lenses. Then later these two phones, that is iPhone 11 Pro and 11 Pro Max, having the first triple camera iPhones. So these initially they had one or two. I think iPhone 7 Plus is having two cameras, and now the iPhone 11 Pro Max are having triple camera. So these are the first iPhone having the triple camera. So again some iPhones are now again from iPhone 5s or iPhone 4s they are having the front camera also. Again as the variant changes, the technology in the front camera also changes. Nowadays we are having the front camera with the 4K recording, okay. Again it supports the, or it captures the slow motion footage also. Again the storage, as I said, they are having the inbuilt storage. We are not going to increase the storage externally in case of iPhone. They are having the inbuilt storage. As I said in the previous lecture, they have introduced the first phone with 4 GB and 8 GB, but as the variant goes on changing, the size of or the storage also changes. Now initially we are having the iPhone XS Max in the three different variants, that is 64 GB, 256 GB and 512 GB storage capacities. Again as per the in each iPhone they are having different storage capacity, and according to that different storage capacity price also changes. Again the second generation iPhone SE is available in the same storage capacity, that is the second generation iPhones are having storage capacity 64 GB, 256 and 512 GB. And now the iPhone XR and this iPhone 11 having the 64, 128 and 256 GB. So maximum capacity of the storage is 512 GB, which is there for iPhone 11 Pro and 11 Pro Max, also for the iPhone SE. So this is about the storage in the iPhone. So again, there is one SIM card slot also there. Unlike other phone, what in the other phone we do, where we have to remove the back cover, we have to remove the battery, and then we have to insert the we have to insert the SIM card. But in case of iPhone, it has a SIM card tray, and that SIM card tray is there on the side of the iPhone. And to remove that SIM card tray, or to eject that SIM card tray, a SIM ejector tool is also there. Okay, so this is here I have shown the iPhone 5s. It has one SIM card slot. This SIM card slot is ejected with the help of this SIM card ejector. So this is a SIM card tray, and to remove this, we have one SIM card ejector tool, which is there with the iPhone only. When you buy iPhone, this automatically you will get in the box. Okay, so the iPhone XS and later phones added eSIM support in addition to nano SIM. So basically the nano SIM is there in the iPhone, and from the iPhone XS and later phone, that is iPhone XS, iPhone XR, then iPhone 11, the series of iPhone 11, they are having they support eSIM also. So nowadays Airtel is having this eSIM. So this eSIM is also supported for the iPhone XS and later phones. So these iPhone XS and later phones will support dual SIM functionality. Okay, so again these iPhones are having liquid contact indicator. So when your phone comes into the water, there is one indicator located in the iPhone. So all the iPhones have small disc at the bottom of the headphone jack. That changes from white to red on contact with water. So that when phone comes into contact with water, that automatically one small disc is there that automatically changes from white to red. So easily anyone come to know that whether the phone came into the contact with water or not. Okay, then again different softwares are also there in the iPhone. So basically, as we know that this iPhone works on a iOS operating system. So iPhone has a different operating system which is specially designed for the iPhones. Again, we can update this operating system, okay, iPhone system, either wirelessly or with the help of iTunes. Then while updating, the size of that updation or the software is depend upon the version, which software we are going to update, or which version iOS is you are going to update. Basically, I have shown one example. So here, while iOS requires over 4.0 GB for updation, whereas its successor required only 1.3 GB. So the size of operating system is depend upon the version. So one example, for iPhone iOS 8, 4.5 GB is required, and for its successor 1.3 GB. So again it depends on the version. So again we have interface, that is basically, what is interface? This interface is nothing but graphical user interface. So when you take your phone in your hand, whatever view you get on the display is nothing but graphical user interface. And in case of iPhone, the whatever graphical user interface is there, it is user friendly. So user can easily come to know what to do and what not to do. So how to open the apps, how to close the apps, we can easily understand, because iPhone has provided a very good graphical user interface. So again, the interface is based around the home screen. A graphical list is also list of available applications. So different applications are also available on the screen with different different graphics or different user interface. Then the iPhone application normally run one at a time. So initially only one application was used to execute at a one time, but from the iPhone 4 onwards a primitive version of multitasking came into play. So of iPhone 4 onwards we are able to do the multitasking while using the iPhone. So again, user can double click at home button to select recently opened application. So we can do the multitasking. So if you want to open the recently open application, we just have to simply double click on the home button. So when we double click on the home button, automatically whatever application were running at the background get automatically open, and from that we have to select whatever we want to open. Then again phone, the phone is nothing but it is a calling display. While we are calling, iPhone get one another display, so it is called as phone display. So with the help of this display with the help of this, iPhone allows audio conferencing, call holding, call merging, caller ID, and integration with the other cellular network feature and iPhone function. So this is related to the phone. Again, it has one another feature of this. So suppose you are playing one music, okay, and at the same time there is one incoming call. So when incoming call is there, so and you are playing the music, so that time that music automatically fades out and it fades back in it. When the call comes, that music automatically fades out and that music automatically fades back in when call has ended. So when call comes, the music fades out, and when you disconnect the call, the music will fades back in. Okay. So again, text input. So we know that we using the virtual keyboard on the touch screen. So for touch screen we are using the virtual keyboard, and this virtual keyboard has different features. So the features like spell checking, correction, predictive word capabilities, so it can predict the words what you are typing. Again, a dynamic direct dictionary is also there. Okay. Again, if you type any word frequently, then that word is automatically get stored in the iPhone dictionary. Then the keyboard can predict the word the keyboard can predict that word the user is typing and complete it automatically. As the iPhone has capability of a dynamic directory, it learns the new word. So while typing any new word, that directory automatically is come to know, or it predicts what word you are typing and it automatically complete that word. So these are the some features which are related to the keyboard available or text input available in the iPhone. Then again, it has email and text message technology. So we'll get the notifications when email and text message received in your iPhone. Again, you can read the PDF, Word, Excel, PowerPoint attachment to the mails. Okay, so this is about the different softwares available. So I have explained some few technology or softwares available in the iPhone. Then last point we are going to see, that is different models available in the market related to the iPhone. So currently only 5 models are available in the market. That is iPhone XR, which was launched in 2018. Then iPhone SE is there. iPhone SE second generation is there, which was launched recently in the month of in the month of May. They have launched the iPhone SE second generation. That is May 2020. They have launched the iPhone SE second generation. Then iPhone 11 was launched in 2019. Then iPhone 11 Pro and 11 Pro Max. So these 5 models are available in the market, and these are some past devices. So that is iPhone, this is first iPhone, which was launched in 2007, and it was available from 2007 to 2008. Then iPhone 3G available from 2008 to 2010. Then 3GS from 2009 to 2012 it was available. Then so on. iPhone 4 is there, iPhone 4S, 5U, 5C, 5US, 6, 6 Plus, 6S, 6S Plus, iPhone SE first generation. Then iPhone 7 was launched in 2016 and available till 2019. Then iPhone 7 Plus, iPhone 8, 8 Plus, X, XS and XS Max. So these are some past devices related to the iPhone, and these are some current devices which are available in the market. So I think this is related to the iPhone. I hope you understand the concept. You already know all these concepts, so just we go through. We have seen the same again. So that is what the hardware, different hardwares used in iPhone, what different softwares used in iPhone, and what are the different models available currently, and what are the past devices that iPhone had developed. Okay, thank you.